Hey guys, welcome back to Craftonia. Today we're going to be doing a May bullet journal plan with me. So before we get started, don't forget to hit the red subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you can get notified every single time we post a video. So for the month of May, I decided to do mountains because I feel like whenever I think of May, I think of more nature-y settings. And so right now I am finishing up the river at the bottom of the page and moving on to the green mountain. And I know that mountains have a more grayish tone, but whenever I think of my May spread, I always think of a bit more of like a green type of contrast, going dark from the bottom, going up into a lighter tone. So for the mountain and the green part, I didn't really want it to be very formal and have straight lines, and so I wanted to have more of a rough texture, and for that I moved my paintbrush in a circular motion to get that roughness. And as you can see, I am doing it for all of the tones of green that I'm using. I did it for the dark green, and currently I am also doing it for the lighter green that I am. So right now I got a lighter green and I'm going in again into that rough texture in the circular motions, and after that I am blending. So for my little blending tip, I feel like you need to blend if you want to go from a darker shade to a lighter shade, and my tip for that would be start at a separate, like go a little bit above and leave a little bit of white space in between the dark and the light, as you can see right now that I'm doing that, the darker shade, and go up into the lighter shade because it can get that different like color and make it a bit more smoother. After I have blended and I am content with what I have come up with for the bottom part and the middle part of the mountain, I'm moving on to the top of the mountain. So the top, I wanted to do a kind of like a snow-capped mountain, I guess, and for this I used a color from Craftsmart, and it's called Sea Mist Pearl, and it gives kind of like a shimmer, and I'm just going in with that color and I'm blending the lighter green and the Sea Mist Pearl together to give it again that smooth transition between the two colors. And I'm doing that with the technique that I used for the dark green and the light green again. So now I'm going back to the bottom of the page because I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do a brown in between the watercolor blue and the dark green, and then I just settled on just blending them together instead of leaving a white space in between them, and I'm using the exact same technique I did to blend all of the other colors. So for the font for the month of May, I decided to do block letters, but then I realized that I wanted to do something a bit more special for May, and I settled on a bit more edgy, kind of unique font that really focuses on sizing and spacing. So for example, the A, one side is a bit more longer than the other side, and the 0 in 2019 is a little smaller than the 1 in 2019. Moving on to my monthly page, for this month I decided to have a bit more of flexibility in brainstorming space on my overview page, and so currently I am tracing my calendar with a Sakura Pigma 03, and normally I would make it very big like I did last time, but I decided to try something a bit different this month. And so beside the calendar, I made a box that has a to-do. Underneath the calendar, I made another box that has goals in it. And on the next page, in the top left corner, I did a little quote that says, "She is fearless." Beside that quote, I did a highlight box for the highlight of the month. And underneath the highlight box, on the bottom left corner, I did a key. Because I can't really write anything in this month's calendar, I decided to have specific colors for specific events that I can just make a dot and write in my to-do list. Beside the key, I did a next month box, kind of getting me ready for next month. And beside the next month box, I also did another quote that says, "She has courage." I am doing both of the quotes in the Tombow Duo brush pen in the color black. Moving on to the weekly, I decided to do a bit more of a minimalist style for my weekly, and I did this by just doing mountains across the page, and in between I stopped the mountains and I just did the day in it. I also brought back the kind of disproportionate font that I did for the title page, and the mountains obviously is the entire theme of the month. For the day, I traced that in the Sakura Pigma 05 pen. However, for the mountains, I wanted my main focus to be the day, so I'm tracing that in the Sakura Pigma 03 pen. After I have finished tracing the spread, I am going back in with the Artist Loft calligraphy pen in the shade dark blue, and I'm kind of just highlighting only one part, which is the upstroke of the mountain. And I'm doing that just to give a bit more of color and contrast in the weekly spread. So that was the May 2019 bullet journal with me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, don't forget to hit the like button, and thank you guys so much for watching.